everyone, in this video we are going to determine the slope of a line given a graph. The other word for slope is gradient. So the slope or gradient of a line is a number that describes both the direction and the steepness of the line. So we have here a basic definition for slope. By the way, slope is represented in math as letter M. So it is the ratio between rise over run, or pretty much if we do it mathematically, that is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Since today we will be focusing on the slope of a line, if we are given a graph, we will be looking into determining the slope using rise over run. So if we say rise, it means it's either we go up or down, and if we say run, it's either we go left or right. Using the x and y axis here, we remember that if we go to the right, the sign would be positive. If we go to the left, the sign is negative. So I'm just gonna put that up here. So going to the right is positive, going to the left, it's negative. Now going up is positive, going down is negative. So up is positive and down is negative. So we're going to use this in giving label to our rise over run. So again, right positive, left negative, up positive, down negative. So let's take this first example that we have over here. So we have this line and we're supposed to find the M. Again, M represents the slope of the line. So in this problem right here, we are going to look for a point. By the way, just a reminder, each of the line is made up of infinite points, but for to make it more easy for us to determine the slope, we are going to trace the, we're going to look for those points on the line. So for example, this one right here. So this one is the point that we are going to use to find the slope. And this is the other point right here. So look for 2 points on the line. And then once you have this 2 points, we are going to create our slope triangle. So slope triangle means we go around from this point to the other point. So we're going to create a triangle. So if I were to create a triangle, this is my triangle right here. So I call this as the slope triangle. So I am going to determine how many times do I go up or down from one point to the other, or the other way around, from this point going down here. So it doesn't really matter which way you would want to go. So let's take the first example of the first dot here at the bottom. So if I take this dot here and I go up to this dot, so I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went 4, so I'm gonna label this as positive 4 since I went up 4. So remember, up is positive. So I label this as plus 4. Now I go to the right. 1, 2, 3. So I went 3. So I'm going to label this as positive 3. So that means my slope is actually, we go ahead and say up, and so I went up, and the bottom is I went right. So it's up over right. So that would means 4 over 3. I don't need to write the positive. So the slope here is 4 over 3. Now others are going to say, can we do it the other way around? Like if I go down instead of going up? Yes, we can. So we can create another slope triangle. I'm going to use a different color for the other side. So if I were to create a triangle here, so I started from the dot that's located here, up here, and then I go down and go to the left here. So I'm still gonna count the same thing. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went down 4. So I'm gonna label this as negative 4. And then after that, I go to the left 1, 2, 3. So I went to the left 3. So I go ahead and label this as negative 3. So pretty much we can come up with another slope which is negative 4, because again, the numerator for the slope would either be up or down. So we went down 4. So that's a negative 4. Over, we went to the left 3 times, so that's a negative 3. So pretty much negative over negative is a positive. So pretty much this is just equal to 4 over 3. So it doesn't matter which way you would want to do. It's either you go up and right, or you go down and left, the answer would still be the same. So I'm just showing you the two methods that it's still possible that we start from the upper point, then we go down to the lower point right here, or we can start from the lower point going up to the upper point. Again, it doesn't matter which way you go, the answer would still be the same. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own, and when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So again, we have this rule that we got from the first slide in finding for the slope, and we're going to use that over into this problem right here. So we're going to start with this first problem. So we have we will look for the point. So this is the point right here. So we can pick this point here, and then the other point could also be here. So that's another point right here. So then from here, I'm going to create my slope triangle. So this is the slope triangle right here. And then after that, I'm going to count. Others would, I would recommend that you would go up and over, but then again, you can go up, down, left, or right. It doesn't matter. So if we take this one right here, so I go ahead and from this bottom dot here, so I go up 1, 2, 3. So I went 3, so I label this as positive 3, because whenever you go up, that's a positive. Then I go to the left 1, 2, so I will label this as negative 2. The reason it's negative because I went to the left. So if I were to create the fraction here for the slope, I'm gonna have to pick either up or down, but I went up 3. So I'm gonna have a positive 3 over, then I went left, so that is a negative 2. So then my slope is actually equal to negative 3/2. So this is the slope for this. Now I can go the other way around too. I go down, that's a negative, and then I go right, it's positive. It's still the same thing. It's still going to be the same answer. Did you get the same answer as this? Good, perfect. Now let's move on to the next problem right here. So again, we have to pick 2 points so that we can determine the slope of this line. So I can pick this point right here, and then I can pick this point over here. So what are we going to do is, again, the formula for slope is up or down. So we determine how many times do we go up from one point to the other point. So in this problem right here, there's no way that we can go up since they are on the same level. So it's on the same horizontal line. So I can go ahead and say that my up or down is, I can't do it. So that means if I can't do it, so it's 0. So I don't go up or I don't go down. I label that as 0. And that is over. Now, how many times do I go left or right? So we can go ahead and, it doesn't matter. We can go left or right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went 5. So that means that's a negative 5 because I went from left to no, I'll take this as a positive because I went to the right. So that means this is a positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, positive 5. And then if we have a 0 over positive 5, the answer here is 0. Now others are going to say, is there can I go the other way around too? So yes, we can do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can go negative 5. And then this one is a positive 5. So it doesn't really matter. So that could also be 0 over negative 5. Now, when the numerator is 0 divided by any number, then the answer here is 0. So the slope that we have here is 0. So whenever we have a horizontal line, the slope is 0. Now let's have this next problem right here. So again, it's pretty much the same thing. We pick 2 points. So I can pick this point right here. Then I will pick this point right here. So then I will determine how many times do I go up or down, over left or right. So let's do that over here. So if I go up, so I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went positive 4. I'm going to label that as positive 4. So I will write that over here. So that's 4 over. Now I figure out how many times do I go to the left or right to get to the next point. There's no other way, because if I go to the left here, then it's gonna be off right there. So it's gonna be off. So there's no way that I can go left or right. This is just right on top of it. So the left right here would be 0. So 4 divided by 0 is actually undefined. So this is undefined here. So I'm just gonna label that as undefined. So this is the slope for this. Now others are gonna say, can I do it the other way around? Like I go down? Yes, we can still do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be a negative 4 over 0. But then again, anything that has a denominator of 0 will be undefined. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. Now, these are actually what I've shown you a while back are the 4 types of slope. So the first slope that we have here is undefined. Undefined slope is whenever we get a vertical line. That's undefined slope. The second type of slope is whenever it's horizontal. That's the slope is 0 or zero slope. Now, if the line if we trace the line from left to right and it's going down, it's decreasing from left to right. So we started from left, we go to the right part of the line. If it's like a ladder, so if it's like a ladder, if it's going down, then it is a negative slope. Now, notice in the first example that we have, if we trace the line from the left side of the line to the right side of the line, and if it's going up like a ladder, then the slope is positive. So these are the 4 types of slope: positive, negative, 0, and undefined. That's it. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!